What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Pack 16 team builder action coming your way here. Week number 3. Let's get it started with Santa Fe State hosting the Liberty Flames. The Flames will take the football here first in the first quarter. 3rd down and 7 situation here for Caden Salter. He decided to come back from being a quarterback that talked about in the NFL draft last season, and now he decided to come on back here for his senior season. Hopefully make a better name for himself, improving that draft stock. He cannot move the chains. Let's go to the next, first possession actually here for Santa Fe State. And we're going to get a holding call to push us backward. Don't like that. 1st down and 20. Josh Summers slings it up the middle, looking for Roy Calico. It's going to be picked off. That was a pretty good bait job by the linebacker. Looked like he was covering the little hitch, the little button hook route, and decided that, you know what, I still have got up the middle slant route covered. So it was a great play to get the interception. Here's a 3rd down and 9 spot for Liberty. Salter's going to have to throw it away, and it'll lead to a field goal for the Flames. They're up 3-0. Now a little check down here to DK Horn. A nice move past the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Only one man to beat. Nobody's going to catch him. He's gone. DK Horn takes just a little RPO hitch all the way to the end zone. He's got so much speed, man. Between him and JD Weeks, those two guys right there. DK had kind of a less than stellar freshman season. JD Weeks really kind of stole the show, but now Weeks moving out there to the outside and JD Weeks being the slot guy, I would assume that he's going to have a really big season. Speaking of big seasons, had a big one there. Gregory Bryan last year. He's looking like he's going to get that going yet again this season. Had a big TFL on a play ago. And now 4th and 13, they got to punt the football away. Here's 3rd down and 1. JEG up past the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 7 here for Summers and the Roadrunners. We got a couple options here. 5 wide receivers. Looked like we had square, we had circle, we had a couple of options other than the guy that we threw to, JD Weeks. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're looking to get touchdowns, guys, not field goals against Liberty. I feel like we should be manhandling these guys at this point, but it's 10-3. Sanchez will kick that on through. And we'll jump here to 5:43 in the second quarter. That's a big hit delivered by Gregory Bryan. Again, another TFL. He's already got a couple here in this ball game. And look at Bryan yet again. Great job by Jack Gibb on the pressure. Great job by Gregory Bryan. He still wants all the smoke on Caden Salter. This guy he doesn't shy away, man. He's just got that type of mentality. He's going to get under your skin. 3rd down and 21. Salter rushing to the right side. Going to fire it up, and it's Jack Gibb yet again. One more time. Not so much on the pressure on the quarterback, but the pressure from the D-line helped Jack Gibb make that play. It was a pressure INT. Love to see that. Great job by Jack Gibb to stay with his man, locate the football, make that interception. But unfortunately for our offense, we cannot find a way to clutch up, move the football. We were just kind of pinned back there against our own goal line. All right, just couldn't really make a play. 1st down and 10, 2nd down and 1 now. 9-yard pickup. We got to try to stop the Flames from getting into the end zone. Again, we should be manhandling them right now. We've only given up 3 points, so it's not the end of the world, but 1st down and goal at the 1. Nice play again by Jack Gibb, but they're going to try it one more time into the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown. Nice job keeping the 2 feet in bounds. That was an NFL touchdown. And the Flames will end up tying this game up 10-10 entering the second half. Let's jump now to the 3rd quarter. 9:44 as we got a deep bomb right here to JD Weeks. He's gone. We need more of that. We need more of the deep shots. You know, last season with Wes Ricketts, the senior, we had a lot more deep shots, I feel like. Still an early part of the year. Just kind of working out our kinks with the new quarterback, Josh Summers, but I feel like our offense is kind of struggling there with reading the deeper parts of the field. We're very intermediate, very screen, very RPO-y, right? Base our offense off in the run. It's a little weak right now. We do get a 1st down here for JEG. 17-10. Pass going to be thrown out to the right side. That is another catch. 2nd down and goal at the 1. Here's DK Horn. Another touchdown for DK. But again, offense kind of just a little weak, man. Just a little weak. Very spready. You know, I want to manhandle the other team. I've used that phrase often here in this game, but I want to dominate. You know, I want to just throw the ball downfield. I want to dictate how this game's gonna go. You know, kind of this dink and dunk, West Coasty, spready type of offense is starting to get to me a little bit here. But 24-17, a minute 45, and hey, there we go. More deep shots. Summers hooking up there with Calico. That's a touchdown. We got the touchdown back. I hate when the CPU makes the game closer than it really was. You know, they get a late touchdown in the game, and then it's, you know, 24-17. You only beat Liberty by a touchdown, Goldie. That one was for our pride. That touchdown was for our pride. It's, you know what? It's kind of one of those things. They thought we were going to run the ball, right? Late in the game, try to kill the clock. They thought that we were going to run the football. It was still only a one touchdown game. So you know what? You want to press up? You don't want to leave a safety back there? You actually want to blitz your safety? Okay, let's just fire it up. And you know what was funny? That corner didn't even react. So a little bit maybe of a CPU glitch there. He didn't even react. When we snapped the football, he wasn't even moving with Calico. Like, he completely just burned him, right? But hey, it was a great game. Great game for us. It was a good game. I'm not going to say great. Let me take that back. I'll say it was a good game. It's Liberty. At the end of the day, it's Liberty. A good quarterback with Caden Salter. Like, we had to find a way to shut him down. Our defense actually played very, very well. Look at all the TFLs we had. 6 for Gregory Bryant. 2.5 sacks, right? He's just so good, man. He is our best player on this Roadrunners team. Bar none. Bar none. All right, let's get into OMI and Bellingham State. Look at Case Kjeldsen with the bomb at the 15. It's caught and a little bit extra. Now past the 10-yard line. That is Bob Tracer with the deep shot on a play action fake. 3rd down and goal from the 14-yard line. So they were pushed back quite a bit. Maybe some penalties, maybe a sack, something like that. But they won't pick up the touchdown here on and goal. But they will go for a fake. They have no respect for OMI, and it doesn't work. So the Commando Ferrets stand tall, facing a 7-0 deficit on that pass play. It looked good. It was a good play call. You know, it looked like it was going to work. It was an open receiver. He caught it, but then he dropped it. It's like Bellingham State luck, apparently, at this point. 3rd down and 8. Kjeldsen, wide open receiver. That's Abrams, and he somehow, with the toe tap down the sideline, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Mighty Puffins. That's a big dude, man. That's a big receiver, and, you know, that's tough for some of those guys to make that type of play, but man, that was it was fun to watch there. So 7-0 Mighty Puffins. About 2:37 left to go. Cutler, pass completed. We want to see more plays from this offense here. How are they looking now? They got a little play action. Look at Cutler throwing on the run. Nice completion there to Herman Granger. Like, you just look at what this guy is able to do. So much different. So much more different than Kenji Stranahan and Crispin McClatchy of Season 1. Like, look at this little RPO play right here. Perfectly executed. Quarterback Cutler, the freshman, looking pretty good. Plus, then you got the running game here with Herman Granger up the middle for a big-time 1st down. 3rd down and 5 from the 6. Cutler, pass completed. Touchdown, Commando Ferrets. Guy can throw on the run, man. It's so much different than what we saw last season. It is all tied up, 7-7. 2nd down and 4. Kjeldsen running for his life. Past the midfield logo, all the way to about, a little past the 25-yard line. Good job by Kjeldsen to sense the pressure and get out of there. Here's a handoff to Malik Hayes. Looking good, man. This offensive line open up. Huge holes for the running back. Look at this. Like, anybody could run through that hole. You could drive a truck through that hole, man. Malik Hayes looking for another score for Bellingham State. He's going to do just that, diving into the end zone. It is 14-7. Muddy Puffins now with the lead taken back. We're going to jump here late 2nd quarter, about 1:24, and this pass completed. Nobody's around. Everybody was in man coverage. And you know what? If you're Bellingham State, you love that matchup. You like your speed. You like your receivers with the size against those OMI cornerbacks and those DBs. I think you're going to win that battle every single time. Here's an interception off of Cutler. And look at the spin move. Everybody's running into each other. Oh, man, that's good for the highlight reel right there. But that's an interception. Cutler actually gets pulled from the game at this point. I don't know if he's hurt, but Kenji Stranahan is now your quarterback for the rest of the game. It's 21-7. Here's a pass going to go incomplete. Bellingham State will kick the field goal to go up 24-7. But yeah, I was actually really shocked that Cutler had been playing so well, but after this first half, going into the second half, he was just not in the game any longer. So I'm not sure what was going on. He's actually healthy when you go back and look at the box score and roster. So yeah, he just must have been either hurt in this game, didn't come back, or he was actually benched, which I don't think the CPU does this anyway. They're not smart like that to bench their guys. So I'm thinking it's wear and tear. Herman Granger does fumble the football here, trying to make something happen, trying to make a little too much happen, I feel like, and he fumbled the football. 24-7 game. Lenoris Sellers is actually in the game now, so Kelson's day is done. I feel like Tom thought that it was probably the smarter move for him to go with the backup quarterback. Transfer from South Carolina. We talked about him in a previous video. Abrams is going to make this catch. Pass interference on OMI. They're, of course, going to decline that, and it'll be a 31-7 game at this point. Bellingham State get the football back, and take a look at Malik Hayes. Look at the blocking out front here. He is gone. The 10, the 5, the tackle at the 1, but he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Another one for the Mighty Puffins, man. They're just so tough. When they get going, they're almost next to impossible to stop because they can do so many trick plays. They can bomb it up deep. Of course, they can run it at will with Malik Hayes and that offensive line. Again, they just make so many holes. The wide receivers do their jobs. They're just a very, very tough team. Kenji Stranahan, like I said, is in the game. He throws a pick to Jaden Bellamy. 38-10 game. Here goes Malik Hayes again. And again, you see the wide receivers doing their job. They block. They're not afraid to do it. They're not divas. They're not prima donnas. They will get in on the blocking game, and they get the job done here. So 45-10. Malik Hayes, another touchdown. We're not done, though. Sellers fires it to the 5. That's a great catch by, you guessed it, Malik Hayes, the running back. Now, 4th down and goal with 2 minutes. They're going for this thing because they're trying to force it to Tom's freshman. This is the user's freshman. Wyatt Street, his custom player. It's a little cheesy, not going to lie. I'm sure that OMI will definitely be putting that one as bulletin board material next season. But Sellers gets another touchdown. Wyatt Street, the custom freshman receiver, gets a touchdown as well. His first touchdown of his collegiate career. And that'll do it. 52-10. So despite all the good things that we saw from Cutler and the new look offense there for OMI and how they were able to move the ball, they just looked a lot better. And I understand 52-10 is pretty bad. It's pretty bad at the end of the day. But it actually showed some flashes. It showed some better days are ahead for the Commando Ferrets. At least I feel like. Kelton actually played decently, I thought. About a 50%. He was 10 of 20. So, you know what? No picks. Maybe that's why they went with Sellers. He just, just too many incompletions there. Maybe just a little bit too many bombs, right? Too many bombs with Kelton. Too many deep shots. Stick with the running game, Tom. Stick with the running game. 23 attempts, 214 for Malik Hayes, 3 touchdowns. Like, you don't even need the passing game to set up the running game. You don't. You just need to run the ball. Malik Hayes is a beast. Your receivers block. Your offensive line parts the Red Sea. You just don't even need to throw the ball at all. Like, you've got some really good receivers. I get it. You got Pickles. You got Hayes that can catch. You got Tracer. You got Wyatt Street, of course, your guy. You've got weapons on that side of the ball, right, at that position. But, yeah, man, I just think that they'll probably be better off just sticking to the run primarily, right? But great game there for Bellingham State. Way to bounce back after a tough loss in simulation against Washington State. That's always going to sting, but the good thing is that it doesn't hurt you in conference play. Now, looking at OMI, looking at Eric Cutler, 16 of 20, 80%, had the 1 interception, but he played better than Stranahan. I mean, that's just obvious. 6 of 10 for Stranahan, 2 interceptions. So he's at it again. He's at his old ways again. This offense needs Eric Cutler. They needed a quarterback. They got the quarterback that they needed. And I think that they showed some signs of improvement. Granger got involved in the passing game. He's still trying to do a little bit too much. He's still kind of stuck in that year one mentality that he's just got to be the guy that's got to do everything. He doesn't have to do that anymore. He's got a good quarterback. They've got some decent receivers to put some points up on the board. So, guys, that is it for both sets of games here, Bellingham State and Santa Fe State. We're done with that. Let's go ahead and get into Week 3's simulation. Plus, again, we just did not get Albuquerque gameplay or Fresno A&D gameplay uploaded here for you guys. So apologies for that, but I'll explain more of that when we look at the scores here for week number 3, as well as a week number 4 preview. Well, guys, that is it for week number 3. Take a look at your scores across the Pac-16. My picks did not do so hot this week. In fact, they were pretty bad. In fact, I picked UAB that was ranked. Last week, heading into this game against UMP, they lose by double the amount that they scored. 42-21, UNP gets the W. Of course, Bellingham State destroyed OMI 52-10. Texas gets a win. I, in fact, don't remember who I picked here. I think I picked Metro, but I said if you want to go the safe route, pick Texas. I don't know if that really counts as a pick for Texas. I don't even remember who I picked, guys. But Texas moves on to 3-0. They've been tough on our Pac-16 squads. Fortunately for LA Metro, they do get a loss on their regular season record. Of course, doesn't really hurt them as far as the Pac-16 is concerned. Temple gets an upset victory in my mind. Vegas State losing 35-30. Idaho Tech, 41-0 victory over Georgia Southern. You knew that this is a type of team, Idaho Tech, they should have taken care of business. I didn't anticipate Georgia Southern not scoring a single point, but that's how it went. Mississippi State, kind of the same thing. Like, what happened? Anchorage beating you 34-3. That's kind of crazy. So, all the SEC people out there, what happened? What happened? How did Anchorage, little old Anchorage, beat you up? 42-18 victory there for the Arrows. Unfortunately, we did not get gameplay for either Dalton or Keneal for Fresno A&D and Albuquerque. Of course, Albuquerque's game was simulated. Keneal was able to get this game played, and he lost to UCLA. We were having some technical issues trying to get that gameplay up into Google Drive so I could share that out with you guys, but unfortunately, that was just not going to happen by the time I needed to get this video posted. So unfortunately, we couldn't see Fresno A&D with an L. Some people might be kind of tired of the artists that wanted to see an L from Fresno A&D, but UCLA beat them up, and we'll take a look at those box scores in just a moment. But Sedona State moving to 3-0. Wow, they are 3 games away from a bowl game appearance, and I think they might be able to do it. Starting off your season 3-0, that gives yourself a really good opportunity to do just that. Of course, Santa Fe State getting victory over Liberty. Colorado A&T beating up Middle Tennessee State. That was pretty much a lock, a guaranteed W here in your pick'em. I don't think you can pick against Elijah Spears, right? Their quarterback, he's just way too good right now. He's on a heater. You got to go with Colorado A&T anytime that they're playing any of these lesser schools. And then UMR beats Utah. Unfortunately for Utah, they've had to play 2 Pac-16 teams in their first 3 games, losing to all Pac-16 teams. That's tough for them, right? They don't have a win yet. In fact, if we go back here to week number 2, they played Northern Utah, got a loss, and then down into week number 1, I don't think that they didn't play any of us here in week number 1 or week 0. But you get the idea, guys. You get the idea. Utah having a tough season so far. They should have probably been able to beat UMR. Northern Utah was going to be a tougher test. They do play better in simulation just because their overall rating and the talent that they have on that squad. Now, I'm not going to show you every single box score, guys. This is going to be a long little outro if we were going to do that. So the interesting games that I want to share with you, probably UMP and UAB. I want to see like what Paulie Bear did, the freshman quarterback here. You see a ton of passing yards there, 259 to 152. Third down conversions, they didn't have to face a lot of them. In fact, they faced 9 third downs. They were 2 for 2 on fourth. Just kind of shows you how efficient that this offense was. They were picking up first downs on 1st and 10, right? First downs on 2nd down. They didn't face a lot of third downs. 259 for Paulie Bear, 3 scores, 73% completion percentage. He was great. Also got a touchdown on the ground. And then Spike Incognito chipping in 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Tate, Little Drummond Boys, Sylvier Bell, Coley Freeze. I still love all of these UMP Kringle nicknames. It's awesome. But good victory there for the North Pole Kringles. Now, of course, we already saw this one, 52 to 10. Not going to really show the box score there for LA Metro. Vegas State, I am interested in this one, though. I'm interested. 409 total offense. They outscored them. They outgained them, I should say. But they did outscore them in the 4th quarter. Like, think about what Vegas State had to do to just get back into this game. They were down 35 to 10. And in the 4th quarter, just deciding, hey, it's kind of time to wake up now. They were 4 of 15 for third downs. That's obviously not a very good spot to be in. They had to punt a lot. They were 2 for 2 on 4th. Seems like that happened on the 4th quarter, like when they were forced to go for it to keep sustaining drives. That's the only really the way that they got back into this game. Tremaine Castor was really good, 358, 4 scores, no turnovers, 63%. I'll take that. I want that a little bit higher, that completion percentage, but that's acceptable. Fotios, Marinos, and Castor got involved in the rushing game, but Marinos was not very effective with a 1.8 average yards per carry. Cato Parks, Daquan Sash, Ethan Daniel, custom player. Get familiar with this guy. He's a sophomore. He's up to an 86 right now, but he is definitely going to be one of these players that we want to watch out for here in our Pac-16 conference. But yeah, that's your box score there for Vegas State's loss. Of course, I do want to take a look at Idaho Tech's victory here over Georgia Southern, 41-0. There were a lot of concerns going into this season that maybe Idaho Tech losing Chet Trask. I know I was one of those people that were concerned about this team's chances. They had a lot of transfers. They had guys like Nuke Lear, their freshman quarterback, their freshman custom guy, that was supposed to be the heir apparent behind Chet Trask. He went to the NFL. And, yeah, Nuke Lear was supposed to be the dude to take the reins. But this guy has been playing really well. Dylan Lonergan. Very well right now. 291, 4 scores, 71%. You take that. You had a great running game. Calypso ran all over the Georgia Southern defense. You had the wide receiver Dominic Lucas getting involved on the rushing game, 3 for 71 and a score. So they're really showing out that they might be in a better position than they were with their pro quarterback, Chet Trask, which is really kind of crazy to think about. But when you've got guys like Speedy Lloyd with 10 grabs for 184 and 3 scores, you got a good running game with Calypso, and your quarterback's playing well, kind of out of nowhere, like, you take that. You take that. And they currently are 2-0 on the season. 34-3 victory there for Anchorage. It seems like we are going through every single team's box score here, but look at the difference right here. Look at that. It wasn't even close. They destroyed them. 96 passing yards for Mississippi State, 323 for the Hawks, 8 of 14. They were 0 for 10 on third down. That's the main reason they lost, guys. 0 for 2 on fourth, 0 for 10 on third down conversions. Wow, so that Anchorage defense really stepped up. The offense played well. Complimentary football, man. Complimentary football. When your defense shuts them down, your offense goes down the field, scores. That's what we're talking about here. Solomon Waters, very good, 71%, 323, 3 touchdowns. Jacob Uhas, 77 yards on 13 carries. Waters got into the end zone. You had Ryan Marks actually have a couple rushing attempts there, getting involved as a wide receiver, but he went off in this game. It's really good to see. Custom player was redshirted last year, just was not good enough, not high enough in the overall rating, so they did save a season, if you will, to get him upgraded a little bit more. He's up to an 82. He's right there with Austin Pitbull as a sophomore, so those are pretty much their best targets, other than Moses Waters, the third, who did decide to come back. So they've actually got a really good team. So watch out for Anchorage here. They might be a team to threaten some of these top teams like Metro, Idaho Tech, Albuquerque. Just watch out for Anchorage. They might be onto something here. But I'm not really going to show Albuquerque and Multnomah State. I think it speaks for itself here, 42-18. I will show this one, though, 30-8. UCLA. What happened in this game? Since this game was played, and I do want to see just how close that it was. First down's pretty similar, 20-16, but 3 of 9, 2 of 9. That was pretty similar. Fourth down conversions looked all right. Turnovers. Oh, man, what the heck happened here? 8 interceptions? What happened? Magic. 4 sacks. Holy crap. 47%. This is not like Keneal at all. 1 touchdown, 8 picks. This is Magic's worst game ever. What in the world happened here? Stacy, they didn't run the ball. I guess they couldn't run the ball. They were trying to throw it too often. Maybe they got in some really tough situations on down and distance. 10 catches for Menifee, 154. He's been a player for them. A.O. Minor, an 88 overall player, only a couple catches. Definitely a lot different than how he played in the last week. But what were the penalties here? The penalties. 13 penalties for a total of 98 yards as compared to UCLA, who had none. So, admittedly, we did change, and I talked to Keneal in the Discord, we did change the slider set around for penalties, for offsides and holding and whatnot. We're going off of a slider set for from Mr. Hurricane and I believe Matt 10. Yeah, Matt 10 and Mr. Hurricane collaboration sliders here. So I think we're going to have to tone this back down. So they were at 50. They're up to 65 now. Might want to go to 55 because this is crazy. The CPU had no penalties, but on the other side, Fresno A&T had 13 penalties. That's crazy. So, of course, that's definitely going to push your offense back even further if they've got a bunch of holding calls and long down and distances. Of course, that's not going to bode well for your offense. That's probably what happened. That's why Magic probably threw all those picks, trying to, on 3rd and 20 something, trying to make these deep reads to sustain drives and just throwing picks. But yeah, pretty crazy, man. 8 interceptions. That is nuts. But all right, last game I'll show a box score here for. All right, last box score I'll show for you guys here is this one. 35 points in the second quarter for Colorado A&T. A total of 524 total offense yards. Yards per rush in the negative for Middle Tennessee State. 8 of 14 for third downs. 0 for 3 on fourth. That's kind of crazy that the Sonics were being that aggressive there on fourth down. Only had 1 turnover. Both teams had a turnover, in fact. But Elijah Spears is the real deal, man. He's it. He's the truth. Look at it, man. 430, 6 touchdowns, 64%. 85 was the long. Who did he throw it to as the 85 is the long? Right here. Kinsey. He had the long touchdown right there. Look at the yards, man. Cruz McAllister, 5 touchdowns out of the 6 that Spears threw. That's absolutely insane. 6 for 161. This sophomore is onto something. This offense is onto something. They look to be one of the top teams, I think, that nobody's talking about here. We've had a couple of those. We've had a couple of those in our Pac-16 conference right now. We've got Idaho Tech. They're on the rise, it seems like. We've had Anchorage is kind of fighting in there. You've got North Pole that's now finally got a victory here in the season, but they got some things working for them now with Pauly Bear. Of course, Sedona State getting a nice victory. Now they're 3-0. So we've got a situation now, I feel like, in this conference where it's not as top heavy as maybe we thought and that we saw in season 1. We might have some challengers towards the middle to the bottom half of the conference, teams that were there last year. They might be challenging some of those top teams this season. So how did your week 3 picks do, guys? Let me know in the comment section below here or the live chat. I'm anxious to hear that. But let's move on now to week number 4. And we will, in fact, be simulating this game yet again here for Albuquerque. We just cannot. I don't want to get into any of the specifics, but I know Dalton is working through some stuff with family and all that. But so we're just gonna try to keep the series moving, and out of respect to him, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that he wasn't flaking out on his commitment here, right? You can see I do have two times played already against Southern Miss. This is like the Jersey matchups get weird, and I'm like, nope, I gotta back out. Or I can't get the game done. I'm in the first quarter, and I'm like, no, it's too late at night. Let me just back out. I'll try again tomorrow morning. So that's what's going on there. But anyway, week number 4, your picks ready to go here. Post them in the comment section. Post them in the Discord. Post them in the live chat, the Premier live chat. Let me know who you've got here for week number 4. Again, 50 channel points for each pick that you have. And if they win, you get 50 channel points. So Charlotte, Albuquerque, that'll be simmed. We'll get Bellingham State and Washington in game. Of course, all the CPU games we're not going to get. So Honolulu College, NC State, Anchorage, Florida State, not going to get those in gameplay. Northern Utah, we will get against Arizona State. Fresno A&D against Notre Dame. That is a huge one. Absolutely huge. A huge game for Fresno A&D. They got to find a way to get back to their winning ways. They're 1-1 in the season right now. Notre Dame might be a little susceptible right now. They're 1-1 as well, but it is a top 10 team, and Fresno just lost to UCLA. 8 interceptions, right, for Magic. So you can't really you can't do that again against a top 10 team. So that's what's at stake here for Fresno A&D, a chance to make a name for their program, right? They don't allow people in the media to think like, they were a fluke last season. And I'm sure people are talking right now, 8 picks for Magic, they're a fluke. They're definitely a fluke. So this is one game to shut up all the critics if they can find a way to at least just compete or even beat Notre Dame. Southern Miss, of course, and Santa Fe State. This is a big one too. 2-2 Multnomah against Idaho Tech. I think I'll probably take Idaho Tech there. You got Sedona State and FCS West. LA Metro against Auburn. That'll be a tough game for LA Metro. I'm sure that Auburn is a little bit better than their 1-2 record might suggest. But as far as my picks are gonna go, I want to take Albuquerque. I'll take Bellingham State. I will take Florida State in this game. I'm not picking Anchorage. Even though I just sang their praises, I'll take Florida State. It's a tough environment there in Tallahassee, right? Tough spot to be in if you're Anchorage. Everybody's now starting to talk about you. You're starting to get a little too high on the pedestal. You might think, right? You might go into Florida State, big game, that kickoff at noon, right? And then you just end up getting blown out. So I'll take Florida State. Honolulu College and NC State, top 5 team. NC State's still playing well. They're 3-0. I'll probably take them over Honolulu College. The Islanders still have some good offensive pieces, but I think that NC State just is a little bit better here in this sim. Arizona State, Northern Utah. I will take Arizona State. I want to take Northern Utah, but I just know that again we got some turnover problems here. So I'm gonna go Arizona State in this matchup, and you can see I'm going a lot with out of conference. I'm not picking a lot of Pac-16 this week. UMR and Colorado. I'll take UMR. I don't really know enough about Colorado right now. This is of course post Travis Hunter, post Shedeur Sanders. I just don't know too much about Colorado at this point, what they got on that roster. But UMR is proving me wrong, and I'm not going to get fooled again. UMR, I've picked against them twice now, and then they're 2-0. So I will take UMR on that one to avoid being wrong yet again. Fresno Indian, Notre Dame. Given the new slider sets, they didn't have a problem in week number 1, but week 2, they didn't play. Week 3, they did show that they had a problem with the new slider set. So I'm going to take the number 8 overall team in the country. I'll take Notre Dame beating Fresno A&D. Maybe that's enough motivation there for Keneal to get a dub. I'll take us. I'll take Santa Fe State. I will take Idaho Tech in this one. I think that they're just better than Multnomah. I think Oren Sparks, the quarterback there, their running game, it's a big factor for Multnomah. They love to run the football, That's a strength for them. But I think Idaho Tech, they're just playing way too well for Multnomah. Of course, the Orcas now 2-2. They do have 2 conference losses, so that's a big factor in going into this game as well. So I think I'll take the Fusion. I'll take Sedona State. I think that's a pretty easy one to pick there against FCS. And then LA Metro, I'll take LA Metro. I think they bounce back this week. They get an out-of-conference victory over the Auburn Tigers. It is at home. It is in California. And I think that they'll do just fine. So that's your Week 4 picks from Goldie. Anxious to hear what you guys are going to go with here for week number 4. Now, heading into week number 5, I will give you guys, after week number 4, I will scroll through the statistics, the conference statistics, and kind of give you an idea of who's doing what. That's kind of why I give you guys these box scores anyway of the week, because I do want to update you all on how that these games went, what was the end result, who played well, who didn't, all that stuff. But it's really going to help you with your fantasy challenge starting in week number 5. Of course, we're going to have players from Honolulu College. We might have Paulie Bear being a QB2. You know, we'll have Elijah Spears being a QB1, all that stuff, right? So fantasy challenge, hopping back in here at week number 5, and then going forward, you know, we'll pick our spots on which weeks are going to be fantasy challenge able, right? Because what we're going to do from this point forward, we're going to start combining weeks together. So you're going to get multiple games probably from the same team going forward, so we kind of get through this season as quickly as we possibly can. But again, starting week 5, fantasy challenge will begin. But that's not quite here yet, so we got to get through week number 4 first. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I apologize that we can't get some of our guys here in gameplay like Fresno and Albuquerque. I apologize about that, but you know, things come up. That's the way that it sometimes rolls when you have multiple users in an online dynasty, especially when you're trying to hit deadlines and commitments here for you guys that are watching the content here on this channel. You know, sometimes you do have to skip out on some things, right, to just get the video out. So hopefully we'll try again here week number 4 moving forward, and we'll get back on track here. So guys, leave a like if you like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.